Vehicle parts, transmission fluid, gasoline, oil, etc., all have a longer shelf life than that of food. People have to eat every day, and the less active people are, the less food will be consumed. If you take two kids that are the same height, weight, and age, then feed them the same amount of food and assign them to two different activities, one play basketball and the other play video games, the kid who played basketball will be ready to eat before the kid that played video games. So the use of transportation has a connection to the amount of food that we have access to and how much food is supplied. An increase in the demand for food will put a strain on the food supply that's somewhat in troubled waters already. So like I said, it's partially about keeping a person from being physically active. Oral sex and masturbation is more energy efficient than sexual intercourse. Outside of land, people are the ultimate resource. Going green isn't exactly about saving us money. It's to keep the economy alive so that the system can stay in harmony with the laws of nature as much as possible. And that's a little bit of my take on the going green movement. It takes more coordination, more coordinated operations, more manpower, more land space, more water to feed a raw vegan city than it does to feed a city full of processed people. If you can imagine one prison with 1,200 inmates, with 100 men dormitories, each dorm has 2 televisions, 2 chessboards, 2 sets of dominoes, 2 mop buckets, and 1 mop, 1 broom, paint on the walls of 1 room, 5 sinks, 5 toilets, 4 tables, just to name a few of the resources in prison. All of these resources are shared by 100 men in each dorm. If we were to free all 1,200 of the inmates, each one will require their own land space and the above resources that I just mentioned. So, it is more resourceful to accommodate a prison population and to sustain a prison population than it is to do so with a so-called free city population. It's just simple mathematics. Less stores, less police officers, less landscaping crews, less doctors, less hospitals, less cooking and eating utensils, less basketball courts, less exercise equipment, less trees having to be cut, less libraries, less dumpsters, less washaterias, less guns, less pepper spray, less light bulbs, and that's just to name a few of the resources that will be conserved just from creating large prison populations alone. There are more drug dealers on the street corners than there are drug lords. That's the reason why they choose to go after the street pushers, because it's more of them to fill the prisons. And prisons are necessary for the system to remain environmental friendly. So, are there any objections? Is there a way to have an environmental friendly system without locking people up in prisons? People in the so-called free world tend to buy more resources than what they need, such as toilet paper, food, clothes, big screen TV sets, which use more oil to make than smaller sets. Lots of people just spend money on things that they don't really need at all. But if these same people that wastefully use resources were locked up in prison, they would hardly have no choice but to be resourceful and friendly to the environment. So should we go green just because we are more of an asset to the system by being more friendly to our environment? This is the only system that man could come up with to help him explore space and to make the space age possible. But that's another story. Also, when a male and female gets married, it's more resourceful and it helps to sustain the system. The couple shares land space. They share the home. They share the washers and dryer. They share the stove and refrigerator. They share the toilet and bathtub. They share the carpet, paint on the walls, the pictures, the bed. You should get the picture by now. So marriage also helps to sustain the system. People also gather at churches, movie theaters, clubs, bars, sporting events, concerts, friends' houses, gambling casinos. And this also helps to conserve energy. Is the system fair, and does it offer the same benefits that nature's system offers as far as physical health, mental health, spiritual health, and to be able to be surrounded by non-aggressive and compassionate people? Is the system friendly to us?